everyone, welcome back to the Mindful Dose YouTube channel. This is another vlog episode. It's actually my second. It's been a while since I've done the first one, so there's a lot to catch up on. Maybe about a month now. Yeah, a little over a month was the last and first vlog episode where I talked to you guys about deciding where we were going to move and choosing between two homes, and I used that question as as an example of how I connect to the tarot cards. I'm still waiting for the next update as far as the steps to buying my next home. I did decide on home B being our next home, which is what the cards kind of suggested in the last video. So that was a really fun process. I'm really glad that I consulted the tarot beforehand and then went and saw the two homes, and it just clarified the energy that I was already picking up on, but was too kind of like emotionally attached to just like stand back and make a choice. And that's what tarot does, at least in my intention on using it. It just clears the fog surrounding a circumstance that has more than one option to choose from. So things are not at a standstill, but I'm just waiting back to hear on the next update, and there's no real timeline on this kind of stuff. So we're just chilling. And in that process, I've kind of settled me and my son to our temporary place, signing him up for a day program so that I can work and just kind of like get back into a familiar role. That has been a very long process, one that has been stressful and also existed side by side with the process that I had mentioned in my last video. So going through that simultaneously while also handling everything else that comes with just everyday life, it's been a lot, but now it's starting to feel like things are kind of settling where it's enough that I can handle, which has been a struggle. It's been a struggle to juggle everything all at once. I started this moving process in March of 2026, and it's now end of June. It's unreal. That's the first time that I'm putting it into a timeline. It almost feels like it just happened a few weeks ago. Um, a few things have been coming up for me now that I have kind of settled and I'm in a different energetic space because I'm not handling a property and like in a in a town and a city alone. I'm now with people. I'm now with a village. I'm now physically doing like less that allows me to just use my energy for things like picking up my son and playing with him. I'm in an energetic, different space. So that has opened up more energy in my mind. So from our body, the energy flows into like that mental sphere. And in yoga, these are layers of energy. So from the physical clarity, which if we're going to talk about it energetically, I'm referring to it from like the chakras. From my lower chakras, which is the survival, the emotional connection, and the self-esteem, all of that has now settled into a different homeostasis. It's still a work in progress, but it's at a different homeostasis, one that isn't so stressed. I feel energy flowing more fluidly into my upper chakras, which is my heart space, the emotional center, my throat space, communication has been, and up into my third eye center, like my intuition. So, what that translates to is that now that I have physically managed my energy into a new state, I have noticed a new state of my spiritual energy. And this is in a good sense because in sleeping a little bit more and resting more instead of working more physically, I'm a lot more relaxed. When I sleep, I'm actually dreaming, which is fun. I love dreaming. Like it's one of my favorite superpowers. So I'm getting all these things back. And I'm also reflecting on how it targets like me mentally. So the chakras is one way of referring to energy. And then I also like to refer to energy as fields of energy. So in yoga, it translates to sheaths of energy, which is like almost like shields. Let me see if I can pull up the Sanskrit, the koshas. It's like these layers. So I refer to energy through those lenses of the chakra system, what I refer to as the lower and the upper and the heart center, and then the sheaths of energy. So the sheaths of energy will one layer of energy is your subtle or your prana. And then the next layer is your physical, the next layer is your mental. I have felt that in my layers of energy, mentally picking up on things that are good objects of observation for me, because I can take a look at a situation now and process it from a fuller perspective. The point of this vlog is that I wanted to share that I have not been meditating, and the podcast and like the core pillar, if you will, of Mindful Dose is meditation. I really believe in it. I really believe that it can help anyone and everyone of all walks of life. In a nutshell, will say that it makes you a better you. So, whatever you identify as, I think it makes you a better version of that. So, I'll always vouch for it. I will always aim to teach it and bring it forward. And at this point in time, I have not been meditating because haven't been able to. I haven't been able to find a consistent time frame, and that's like the main approach to having a meditation practice is knowing when you're going to do it. I haven't been able to meet all the requirements that I know will bring you a successful meditation practice. I haven't given up. I think that's something to clarify is I haven't been able to meditate and I haven't given up. I'll give it, that's where mindful dose kind of comes from. It's like any little amount of effort that you can put towards that practice or anything that is sacred to you, like any little amount really matters. So I have been trying, like here in this chair, I'll like try to breathe for a few minutes and then I'm distracted by my son who needs me. So these are all like circumstantial situations. I'm just unable to meditate to have like a full practice. And a full practice, for the record, can be like making an intention to sit for 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. The time frame is nobody's keeping a record. Nobody has that on a scale of like what's successful and what isn't successful in a meditation practice. It's really about just showing up. The hardest part is showing up. So I haven't been able to show up, but I have tried little doses of meditation sitting around. If I'm sitting around or, if I'm waiting, like I'll try to tap into that. It's kind of tricky though, because if it's not an intentional space, it's hard. It's hard. Instead, what I have been doing is being a lot more mindful in my communication, mindful in my actions, mindful in every way possible. I'm human and I have made errors and mistakes along the way. And I'm pretty hard on myself, like especially when it's like an error or a mistake, if you will, on my character. I get really hard on myself. I have Chiron opposite my sun, so the reflection of me from my peers, my relationships, it's really a big part of my development experience. So I've had humbling experiences with relationships that have forced me to look really hard at myself and be mindful. And mindfulness is the ability to observe without attaching or defending. It's just a simple observation with no emotional attachment to it. So in the scenarios where I'm humbly kind of experiencing this fuller picture of me and my present time and what I can do with the present time, it's been really it's been a humbling experience. It's been a learning experience, that's for sure. So mindfulness, I feel, has been almost a replacement or has over empowered the experience of meditation, almost, if you will. Like it's not a formal mindfulness practice. It's more of like a reflection practice, and I do it from a mindful perspective. I've been journaling a lot to just flow that mental sphere, get my thoughts and my words out there. Sometimes it's really easy, sometimes it's really hard, but it has been the experience and the practice that I have been doing lately to just get my energy flowing and not feel so many blockages, which has been kind of hard to manage when, like, physically, I've just been taxed on everything and mentally taxed on everything involving the move and the transition. So I hope that this all makes sense. I tried to make it as fluid as possible, but in a nutshell, this vlog is more about like energy and how you're holding your energy. And the reasons why we meditate is to calm our hearts, our minds, and that's calming energy. And these different ways of looking at energy from the chakra system or the kosha system is a helpful lens through which you can like navigate balancing your energy. It's been what has been working for me. So while my meditation practice is kind of, on a standstill, my mindfulness practice has enhanced as a result. Yeah, life is fun. Life is fun. It's not meant to be easy all the time. It's meant to challenge you. And through those challenges, hopefully we just grow and we become better the next time around. I feel like themes usually circulate, and by circulation, meeting it from a higher standpoint, your energy can only like evolve and function at a higher frequency as a result. So, anyway, thank you for that first half. I actually wanted to do some tarot cards. So, I'm going to switch up my screen and let me know what you guys think about this way. Okay, so these are the tarot cards that I have been working with lately, and this is an oracle deck that I've been using as well. This is just the energetic flow that I'm working with. So this is a Mythic Tarot deck. This is the Rider-Waite-Smith, and this is the Stars Divine deck by Alejandro Leon. The Mythic Tarot is by Liz Green, and I forget the second author, but yes, I will try to link them below for you. So I did a tarot reading for myself like a few days ago on a particular subject, and it has been really fun to like witness life surrounding that subject just evolve. And I kept that spread up for a couple of days. And that's one thing that I do. You know what I forgot? Forgot to prime my hands. When I have a reading that just like I can witness the energy in real life in real time soon after, I will usually just keep that spread on the cloth and just kind of like bask in it, bask in the message, because it almost feels like I'm still processing the message as I'm living it and experiencing it in real time soon after. So that's something I wanted to mention. So I primed my hands. I have the three decks that I use. I lit my candle already. I set an intention. Now I'm just going to shuffle to make. So that's that deck. Okay, that's that deck. Okay, so I'll start with the Mythic Tarot deck. And the topic that I really want to go over, the questions are really, really the fun part about tarot. It helps if you've had a mindfulness practice because you can be mindful of the energy that you're pouring into the question. Like, what answers are you really seeking? So I'm really close to coming to a new schedule that gives me more time. This is the last week that I'm kind of just like sort of in survival mode on that. In other words, I'm essentially on the precipice of change. I'm excited for that. I feel like I want to tap into that energy and the potential of energy that I can use this last week. So while not a question, it's a very clear intention. And three cards can just give you a story, a beginning, a middle, and an end. Let's see what we got. Eight of Cups, King of Pentacles, and the Knight of Cups. Very cool. Very cool. I love the Eight of Cups card in the Mythic Tarot deck because the individual is actually walking towards you. Like you can see their face, they're walking towards you. Traditionally, the Eight of Cups, the person is walking away to demonstrate like an emotional experience of leaving something behind. But what I love about this one is that this person is walking towards you. And in one way, it almost seems like they're walking downwards. So I feel like that's a representation of like going inward into your subconscious. And I say that as well because the nighttime sky, this is an inner reflective kind of card. So I feel like this is beginning off the story with asking me to tap into my intuition, dive deeper into my subconscious, like go to that headspace intentionally. We have the King of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. Intuitively, I feel like at this point I can read these cards as a combination rather than individually. I feel like the beginning gave me a good starting point. I usually say this in readings or in my advice, my consultations, that to know where you're going, you need to know where you're starting. And I feel like this spread right here is asking me to start by going inward because by doing so, now I'll read both cards. By doing so, I can find a value and worth that keeps me steady and stable. And this value and worth can be related to my schedule, which almost feels like that's where it's kind of going. And the Knight of Cups is this fulfillment feeling, being in a place where you're still learning, but you're in a full place of wisdom and experience. So I feel like this is a very beautiful message suggesting going back to my meditation practice. I don't know if you guys picked up on that intuitively on your own, but that's that is what's calling to me. And it's very funny that that's what I was just talking about. And you could say like, oh, like it's fresh in your mind and such, and that's totally valid, but I tried breaking down what I see in the cards and whatnot, and let that information tell the story rather than my thinking mind. Let my subtle sheath of energy just push out the energy by using words. The the King of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. I'm really appreciative of this combination. So in a reading, I'll just like normally go in depth using the Mythic Tarot, and then I will use my second tarot card to pull kind of like, how like if you know prescription glasses, you have a prescription for each eye. So this is one like energetic eye of prescription, and then this one is another prescription. But working together, they give a clearer, fuller picture. All right. So my cards fell. Okay. So the scary thing about cards falling off the table is that you don't know how many cards fell, but I think I only dropped one. So that is the Justice card. And I grab from the top to complete the spread. Alrighty. So the Justice card, the Seven of Cups, and the Hierophant. Sometimes I need to just bring the images closer together so I can soften my gaze and see the story a little bit better. So what I'm getting from the second half, the second prescription, is the Justice card is also further encouraging a sense of balance and equilibrium. Because once I can reach that state, I feel like the curtain will drop and I will see all these different either paths or opportunities or choices available to me that are fill my heart, that feel good. And accessing that one's really cool. I feel like this part of the reading feels more like heavier on the spiritual matters and tone, whereas this one is like louder in like realistic matters, surface level kind of answer, but like totally purposeful. And then this one dives in a little bit deeper. So coming together, the full picture, right? Seeing through both lenses, I really have a chance this week to work with my energy by like tapping inward, maybe preparing for that next schedule that I'll have for a couple of weeks to better outline my productivity, doing the things that I care for and that matter to me, balancing between my work life and my family life. I mean, something as simple as like going to the grocery store and like getting a precise list and not being distracted by mommy, like mommy, 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 that kind of thing fills my heart. So I can see this being a balance between my work life, getting my work done in the day, and then second part of the afternoon, running those errands and being able to pick up my son and just have an authentic like mother-son time without feeling like the adult responsibility looming over me. So I'm really excited. Next vlog video, I'll let you know how it goes. But this is kind of just one of the ways that I start working with the cards and my own energy. Now going to use an oracle card, oracle deck to grab a little astrology insights. So, two cards. We have the third house and we have Ceres or Ceres. So anyway, the third house is about communication. And it also represents a few relationships in your life, like cousins and siblings. But I like that because I feel this is another like conversation, but generally I feel more open to communication and the nature of the throat chakra, which is all things communication, listening, talking, teaching, learning. So that's really nice to see. This one is an asteroid. It's an asteroid that, like the first reference that I have and that I work with, is that it represents parenthood and possibly even like single parenthood. So I like seeing that because my biggest struggle is feeling adult responsibility while I'm trying to enjoy time with my son. So I feel hopeful that the schedule and this bigger picture situation will allow me to show up better as a mom. And I'm killing it. I like to think I am, but I feel like I could improve. I want to feel like I've given it my all and everything and do it in a peaceful, balanced way that isn't on like this fight or flight mode. So that is my reading. That's how I would usually do a reading. Talking beforehand really helps. When you work with me, we don't meet, but you do have an option to just write everything out in your checkout form. And in doing so, I feel like that gives you more time to think about what you want to mention, the kind of details that matter to you, and even just like the words. So the communication aspect before a tarot reading is really important. The context is really important because with the cards, sometimes they will outline a specific word or a specific theme that was discussed. And here we clearly saw things of like balance, going inwards, my meditation practice, all that. And then afterwards, I usually just like I said, I'll either leave the cards up for some time, it could be a couple of hours, could be a couple of days, and when I feel ready to close it, I will just thank the cards like I will now and just clear the cloth. So guys, thank you so much for joining me. I had a lot of fun doing this. I can't wait to connect with you guys on the next one and update you. I am doing tarot readings. They are currently on sale for 35% off. If you want to keep in touch, you can sign up for my newsletter on my website linked below. And through the newsletter, you'll know when there are discount readings, special reading offers, and anything of that nature, workshops, all of that good stuff. You can follow me on Mindful Dose, mindful.dose on Instagram. And yeah, I'll be back for Lunar Talks, another vlog episode, and we'll see how this schedule allows me to flow this energy out towards you guys. Have a great day.